The BA in Theater and Performance Studies at Kennesaw State University offers a musical theater concentration that includes courses in musical theater acting, dance, voice, music theory, and musical theater history and literature. We offer unique ensemble-style advanced courses with new topics every semester, which includes the opportunity to create original work. Our students participate in yearly showcases and cabarets and have the opportunity to direct, music direct, choreograph, write, compose, and work on dramaturgy in addition to their musical theater studies. Our students are connected to the Atlanta industry through our professionally working faculty, staff, and alumni. We offer guest artist workshops on a yearly basis, and our students get to work with professional directors, choreographers, and music directors on productions. The Department of Theater and Performance Studies believes in the scholar artist. Our students not only produce the work, but take a deep dive into the meaning of the work and the significance of the art in today's world. We examine how pieces of musical theater hold hands with history, as well as pave paths to the future. Come find out what the musical theater concentration at Kennesaw State is all about. We hope to see you soon. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on this Zoom on this lovely evening in May. I am the coordinator of musical theater, Amanda Wansa Morgan, and I'm here to talk to some of my alumni from the KSU Department of Theater and Performance Studies, as well as we have a current student with us, and two of the alumni just graduated, so kind of going from one world to the next. All of these individuals have worked professionally or been exposed to the professional world. And so we're going to talk a little bit about their experience in the department and also how they've made that transition into the professional world and how you can too. So I'm going to introduce them one by one. I'm going to pin their video so they can say hello and what year they graduated. Oh, by the way, all of these individuals were participants in the musical theater concentration. So let's start with the eldest, Joseph Pendergrast.
Wow, I guess I am the oldest. I'm Joseph Pendergrast. I graduated in 2017.
I'm Brandy Bell. I graduated in 2019.
I'm Courtney McCullar, and I graduated this spring.
Hey, I'm L'Oréal, and I also graduated this spring.
Hey everybody, I'm Alex. I'm currently a senior at KSU.
I had my one sentence, and I put a welcoming community that exceeds its own expectations, yet has a mission to always strive to do better.
I think KSU and TPS in particular is special because it is in a small conservative town, but it's a huge community of artists and eager people to spread change and share that through art. So that's what makes it special.
I believe that KSU gives students all the tools necessary to grow in their personal artistry and also discover their own individual niches.
The thing that sets KSU apart is that it offers a balance between technical art skills and academic rigor that really creates a balanced artist who can say not only knows how to do things, but can have an intelligent opinion on why and what to do.
Yeah, so just having grown up in Georgia, I wanted to stay relatively close to home, but like far enough. I grew up in Athens, but the financial implications were really big for staying in state. And I wanted to find one of the best programs that was just, I don't know, not internationally, but at least nationally recognized. And KSU was like number one, number two on all of the charts. And when I gave it a visit, I just felt at home. immediately, like just on campus. And I remember telling my dad, I was like, this theater department really just feels like home. And it was also really exciting getting to, because I took a tour with Meg Harkins, who is an alumni, and she explained, she's just like, man, not only is it such a thriving and growing department, it's also just has so many connections into Atlanta. And I've personally been able to benefit from that, just from getting to know people, not just as people, but as artists, and getting connected into Atlanta almost immediately. So that was such a blessing. And that's why I chose KSU.
I chose KSU for its science department because I was a science major when it started out. However, I like to think that TPS chose me. I think that I went into theater just for fun and to enjoy that little hobby that I had in my mind, but the community and the friends and the family that you create there, it made you not want to leave. And I ended up switching my entire career path because of
Yes, you did.
Yes, and because of you.
Well, no. I just simply said, think about your life, think about your choices. That's all I did.
So I chose KSU because where I was like in my senior year, I personally didn't think I was talented enough or smart enough to get into any other school, so I didn't apply. I didn't apply to any other ones. And so my goal that I told everyone, I don't think it was actually true, but I was like, I'm just gonna do my gen eds at KSU, and then I'm gonna like build my skills and transfer to like Carnegie Mellon or something. And I ended up also going on a tour with Meg Harkins, and I'll never forget it because we were just like walking through the halls, and I was like, oh my gosh, first of all, this place is beautiful. And she showed me the theater library that we used to have that isn't there anymore. That left the
there.
year.
It's just in the big library. It's just hiding.
It's not there anymore. It's whatever. But I was like, oh my gosh. And it was all these theater people. And I remember her telling about the department and the award that Moby Dick won. Like we saw the knife. I was like, oh my gosh, they traveled like the world. This is insane. And I was like, this is so much cooler and like legit. And I never heard of the theater department beforehand at KSU, and I fell in love with it and I stayed.
I would say the first one that pops out that made Kennesaw so special for me was KISS. It's the Improv Society, and it genuinely has changed me as a person and as an actor and performer. Being able to really delve into that and come forward as a leader in that group was life-changing. And then also having these amazing friends and support system. I have all these great people who I not only believe in personally, but also professionally. And that allowed me to also have an opportunity to work with my best friends in The Normal Heart, which was a production put up by my best friend, Zach Elton, who is a brilliant student, and he directed it completely himself. It was all student run. And so being able to be a part of that, which was genuinely one of the most challenging pieces I've ever been a part of, was such an amazing part of my KSU education, and has taught me that not only will your fellow students be your friends, they'll also be your coworkers.
There's a lot of really awesome aspects about the education at KSU, but I think my favorite has just been getting to know the teachers as artists and as people. I've developed some really awesome relationships, not only with Amanda, but with Jan Wickstrom and Emily Kitchens, just to name a few. So like the teachers really are there for you. And I know like when I first came in, I was just like, I knew there was the connotation around the teachers having like connections and like that, and they're the professors, and it was kind of intimidating at first, but getting to know the professors and them getting to know me as an artist and just as a human, and just realizing it's like, oh, we can have coffee and hang out when like all this education stuff is over, but at the same time we're going to be in the same art environment forever, and these are really, really, really cool people who really, really care about you, has been probably my favorite experience.
I mean, I love this department, and there's a lot that stood out, obviously, and all the shows I've been a part of, I count as tremendous blessings. But surprisingly, when I was thinking about this question, the things that I loved most were the class times. Like my time, the scene I did in acting 2, I will not be proud of anything as proud as I was of that scene. Or the poem I read in Dr. Barton's class in, what was it, Performing Lit, I think. And just like the small stuff, which I didn't think was gonna have such a tremendous impact on me as a performer, but like those things that we did in class, I still take with me, honestly, more than like the shows or like what I learned from shows and like stuff like that. Yeah.
How to be in the room. I can't stress this enough. So many people don't know how to act in the professional world. They don't. How to audition, not how to behave in the room. That's what I mean by act. Like the manners and the etiquette and the expectations that I was taught in college. A lot of people, it might be because they've been in the field so long, they feel like they don't need to do it anymore. Might be because they just don't know it. You know, like some people don't go to college, some people don't get that training. It is insane how much I was stressed on how to behave and when to show up and what to say and not to approach a table or when to approach a table. And I think it's just not shared enough. And I learned that from KSU. Since I graduated from KSU, I was an acting education apprentice at Orlando Shakes, which is a really great company. I really love that company. And I took workshops and I learned more about Shakespeare, and I acted in their 2019-2020 season before it was canceled due to COVID. And it was really great. I'm really happy about it.
So I feel like one of the things that KSU does really well is saturate the Atlanta theater market with our people. Like it's impossible to see or be in a show in Atlanta and not have someone from KSU involved. I don't think I've ever successfully done that. And especially at the beginning, being able to walk into that room and have a point of reference to like set you that kind of like example of how to conduct yourself in the room, how to like set you up with best practices. And also being able to walk into an audition room and have that recognition of like, oh, you're from KSU. Okay, cool. You probably know what you're doing. What do you have for us? And just that little bit of familiarity makes a huge difference in terms of like comfort and confidence, I feel like, in every room that I've ever been in.
When I used to do tours for KSU, a lot of students would come in with questions, and that's when this question made me think of that. A lot of people that we could stress, like our big selling points of it, and that answered a lot of the questions were the proximity, oh my gosh, these words, the area that it is so closely to a theater hub, so Atlanta. So a question that you might want to ask is, how close is it to a place that I might be successful in theater? What are the success rates of students or alumni from this program? Are they working during the school and classes? Are they only getting jobs after? Are they allowed to work during their time in the program? Because some places you can't. Another one was, what are the faculty and staff doing with their creative journey? Are they just teaching? What's their past? What are their plans for the future? And then also a good one that was asked was, what can this program offer you? And I think that so often when people are about to go into college, they just want to get into a college, right? They just want to get that acceptance, but you have to have the self-respect and the self-drive to say, am I getting into a program that actually fits me? And then another big one, a reason that I love KSU was that they give you a taste of everything that deals with the field. So you can do a taste in directing or writing or tech or dramaturgy or, whatever. It's not just your straight path. You take classes from other things too. So how well-rounded are you going to be after you get out of this program?
The thing that I just immediately thought about was like, it depends on you. And it's you need to think about what what are you looking for out of your college experience? And some people, like right out of high school, are like, I want the name recognition. I want to have the NYU, the Carnegie Mellon, Northwestern, Juilliard. That's what I want, which is great. But upon further like investigation of some of those schools, you may find that, oh, their class size is massive, or you're not going to be able to get personalized treatment. Is that something that you want? Are you okay with that? So that's something to definitely think about. And I think that's something that KSU offers that I would suggest to most people is they have personalized relatively. I mean, almost all our classes are like under 20, right? Like in the major, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our class sizes, our studio class sizes are capped at 16. That's actually an accreditation standard. That's why when students are like, oh, can I get an override into this performance class? The answer is no, so that it is one instructor to 16 students. And when you get that one-on-one ratio. Book classes or lecture style classes are going to run you somewhere between 13 and 25, depending on the demand per semester. Yeah. Anybody else have any things they want to recommend to students as they're looking for colleges, questions they want to ask?
Yeah, I just think that one of a good way to think about what college you should go to is to do as much research as you can on alumni and look at sometimes what kind of careers they've had, but also what kind of artists they've become and the kind of people that they've been shaped into. Because in a lot of ways, like the alumni are the product of the school. So the school is designed to make you the new them, basically. So like you're looking for the school that has the kind of alumni that you want to be, both as an artist and as a person and as a career in. So
yeah,
look for the school with the people that you want to be, not necessarily like the location or whatever.
I also think a good question to ask would be if you can see one of their shows, if they have a production coming up, because I know all of my friends that came in my freshman year were like, did you see Spring Awakening? Oh my God, it changed my life. And to know that our department stresses professionalism and has a professional level production that they can put up definitely helped inform me and let me know what type of artist they are producing and what type of skills I could gain from going there.
Yes, I minored in dance and it was the best decision because first of all, the dance minor is the easiest thing to get because you're not doing these like extra classes. Like the classes you need to fulfill your minor are the dance classes. Sorry.
Look at him cracking up.
You're just in dance classes, and I took tap, ballet, modern, I said ballet, other stuff. And you have to do one dance history. Leave me alone. You have to do one dance history. But I think all artists should learn how to dance. But I think definitely all actors, even if you're not musical theater, because you need to know your body. Don't make it a stranger that you feel uncomfortable in. Like you need to know you can do this, or oh my gosh, I didn't realize I can do that, and this is how I can emote this. And I can take modern and add it to my acting, and I can do this and this and that. So I highly recommend taking a dance minor.
Yeah, well, thank you. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that in the informational section, but talking about considering a minor in a related field like dance, music, or art to kind of round out those skills and connect to what I think Brandy was saying about being exposed to all the different areas of the industry, right? To make you more marketable, to have more skills, and taking more dance classes is going to help everybody be aware of their body and how to move, and it's related to health and all those great things.
There was an acting class. It was a Shakespeare class taught by a previous chair, and he had such a skill and he knew so much about Shakespeare. I ended up taking a Shakespeare class later on, I think my junior year with Brandy. It was very fun. But I would have loved to have been in the room with him, especially knowing that he was directing a Shakespearean show in the spring. Just having that connection and also being able to just learn straight from him, I would have loved. One thing that I don't regret at all is that I took a lot of acting classes. I basically double concentrated in acting and musical theater. And that is something that was so valuable to me and something that I would highly recommend to every single person coming into this department.
Yeah, I almost double checked myself as I was saying, oh, they're all musical theater concentration. I thought, is Courtney acting? Because you did so much in the acting concentration, the acting area, which, you know, because we're a BA, you can audition for and get cast in whatever's available. But yeah, you along with most of you all have taken advantage of a number of different kinds of opportunities. Doing different. Would you have done it different? Joe, would you have done anything different?
I got one, yeah. I would have spent less time trying to be like the artist I admired and more time trying to be like me. I feel like I wasted a lot of time trying to sing like somebody else or act like somebody else, and not enough time like discovering and honoring my own like artistic identity.
Yeah. Just throughout my time, at least in this college, and just getting to hear more about working professionally, working with other actors, and like hearing their stories of how they got to where they are. There's no perfect college. There's no like college that if you go there, this is going to get you happiness. So I think that it's important to just kind of realize that like every college is going to have their flaws, and that's okay. But every college is also going to have their upsides as well. And I think KSU has an insane amount to offer for what it is, as well as other colleges. But it's always just good to keep in mind that's like, I have this opportunity that I can take, and if I don't, it's not the end of the world. Everybody has their own journey, and this is just one place that can be a mediation between high school theater and professional theater. And I happen to have found a lot of positives in it, and would highly recommend it to kids that are wanting to broaden their horizons or go for it.
I would say the importance of being kind and also working as hard as you can, as long as you can, as much as you can, but also working smarter, not harder, like, pick your battles kind of thing. But I definitely, in my 4 years, have seen played out the importance of being kind and what influence that takes, because like 9 times out of 10, if you're not fun to work with or people don't know that you'll affect positive change in a work environment, they won't hire you, and they'll pick another person who's less talented than you or less technically trained, but will bring joy and laughter to a program or production.
Surround yourself with people that you respect and that really influence you positively. And that's not only students, it's also your teachers. I can't tell you the amount of teachers that I just like highly respect and that I've just kept close to me. I'm like, give me any nuggets that you have, please. Yes, any pearls. And same with the students. I've learned so much from being in classes with L'Oréal and Brandy and all these people who have skills that are different than my skills, but still teach me so much just from being around them. And then also away from the school and away from the learning, just being able to have a support system of people that you really respect and that can give you the honesty and the truth, but also can lead you in a positive direction is just the ultimate nugget that I could give.
I think when you're in college, every class and every cast list feels like the world, and it's sometimes difficult to see around it. And I think it's important to remember that your current results are not your identity as a person and an artist. Like being cast a lot in college doesn't make you hot stuff, and not getting cast in this show doesn't make you a failure. Like, I think it's important to kind of like take a step back, not take yourself too seriously and not take college too seriously, because ultimately, like, it's gonna end in 4 years and you're gonna go into the real world, and it won't matter anymore. The only things that will matter is what you made yourself of. The only thing that will matter is what you made of yourself while you were there.
Yeah.
Joseph is preaching, y'all. He took us to church.
Preaching.
The
I wish I
permanent
had the
adult-
organ.
You know what I'm talking about?
Wish I had the organ. Yeah, I would say I'm going to this view because it's becomes a little bit of a conversation now. Like, now that those of you that have been out for a couple years, Joseph and Brandy, like what is still a part of your life from KSU is the people, right? And your relationships with people.
Yep. Sure.
How you did on a paper, or yeah, you have the memories of the experience of being in the shows and the skills, but like the relationships with the people when you walk into a room and you know how to behave. So
Definitely. And just like, I think even if you aren't connected, you do have that bond, you know, like Joe, I haven't seen you in I don't know how long, but I do know, like, if I saw you in a room, I'll be like, oh, Joe's here, you know, like there is this feeling of like this community, this family that we've made, like cousins that you haven't seen in a year, and you're like, oh, my cousin's here, you know what I mean? Like it's this like common tie between everyone. You went to KSU, I went to KSU, we were in that production together 4 years ago, you know what I mean? Like it's just, or 10 years ago, or 15, even the person that you went to college with, Amanda, it is the people, and it's what you leave with. And yeah,
the nuggets for the young people. Nuggets, you got any nuggets?
I would say networking is huge, and I think we talked about it a bit, like my senior year, and like networking yourself and what it's about. But I think the importance of it and how you do it is so constant. I mean, like everything is an audition, right? And everything is the conversation, your work ethic in class, and the assignment or the paper, your way of thinking, and your responses. Like a professor at KSU and around the globe, if they're teaching, they probably are well known in the industry or have some sort of, you know, heftiness to their knowledge. So I mean, they can be great pathways and great, I mean, Orlando Shakes, Amanda did Orlando Shakes before I went to Orlando Shakes, you know, like you find out things from them. And if you get yourself in a position where you're trusted and they see how hard you're working, they might network for you, do some of it for you, you know? So I think networking is a huge thing that you don't even realize you're doing, but you're doing it all the time.
Thank you all so much for joining us today. Thank you for giving your input and giving us your time. And I'm so grateful for all of you. It's like the Brady Bunch. I'm like, I'm grateful for you and you and you and you and you. And I'm proud of you all. And I can't wait to meet the whole next round of children that I get to work with. And then there'll be you all watching this could be a part of the fam with these lovely people. Because once you're in the network of alumni, you're in the network and you end up working with them. And then you can swap stories about, you know, stupid stuff I do in class or whatever. All of that. Thank you all.
Thanks for having us, Amanda.
Thank you.
As mentioned previously, the degree offered at Kennesaw State is a BA in Theater and Performance Studies, which will include the option to choose one of 4 concentrations, one of which is musical theater. You'll have 42 credit hours dedicated to your general education, 24 hours in the Theater and Performance Studies major core that all TPS students take, 12 hours in your concentration of musical theater, and then as you can see, between 12 hours of related studies and 12 hours of free electives, you have 24 more credit hours that you can dedicate towards taking classes in areas of interest. The musical theater concentration students are required to take the following classes: musical theater techniques, music theory, acting for musical theater dance, and history and literature. However, we have a bunch of other classes on the books that are offered yearly, semester to semester, in the areas listed below that most of our students end up taking and using to fulfill their related studies and free elective requirements. KSU's Theater and Performance Studies program gives you close proximity to Atlanta and the Atlanta theater and film industry. Many of our faculty and staff work professionally during the year while they're also teaching you. Our program offers you the opportunity to study both fields of theater and performance studies. We have guest artists visiting every year, both in a teaching capacity, and they also come to perform and present shows of their own. You will also have opportunities to direct, write, compose, design, work as a dramaturg, and work in many other capacities within the theater industry in addition to your desire to perform. We have a variety of performance opportunities which also include creating original work. There is no audition requirement to become a theater and performance studies major, nor to join the musical theater concentration. All you need is a 3.0 GPA coming out of high school and acceptance to Kennesaw State. You can be cast your first year. We hold auditions at least once each semester, and we often hold auditions for a project the semester before, but you can audition as soon as you step on campus. There are departmental scholarships available. These are called TPS Merit Scholarships, and students can apply for them year to year. Usually the application deadline is in March. Students also have Hope Scholarship, federal financial aid, and additional university scholarships available to them. We produce 4 main stage shows a year in our season, always at least one musical, and 10 to 14 additional projects per year, which are often related to curriculum opportunities. In addition to our traditional season of 4 main stage shows a year, we have an improvisational team called KISS, Kennesaw Improv Society Stupid, a storytelling troupe called the KSU Tellers, an annual 24-hour play festival, an annual New Works and Ideas Festival, opportunities to work in various fields of dramaturgy and directing and design, various showcases of different topics, and a focus on undergraduate work because we do not have a graduate program.